Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host. Good morning, and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna, and this morning we're visiting with Forrest Wynne. He's with Extension and is the aquaculture specialist. Good morning, Forrest.
How are you, Joanna?
I'm doing well. And today we're going to talk a little bit about ponds and where to put one. We get calls every year about, I want to put a pond in, but it's a little bit more difficult than just putting one in.
Right. You want to have your properties checked, first of all, for soil type, appropriate soil types. We're looking for soils that have about 30% clay, kind of as a minimum, maybe 20% as an absolute minimum. Here, you know, you've got, in this county, you've got a lot of karst formations, limestone underneath, and that's always a big concern, and it can be a risk for actually constructing the pond and then possibly having it leak or collapse, you know, sometime up the road. So these are considerations you need to make when you do the site evaluation, pretty much. So.
And it's worth it to do that, to get a professional in there, because we have so many people who call after the pond's put in, and it's not holding water, and it's hard to mitigate those type things after the fact.
Yeah, seeping ponds are really the hardest problem that we face as managers. So sometimes ponds can be fixed, sometimes they just can't. So before you have an expensive hole in your property, you really want to do all the homework you can. Areas like this and throughout many Kentucky counties where there is limestone in the subsoils, you know, it is risky. There's no 100% guarantee that they may hold, but you really need to have as much information. Talk to excavators, farm services folks. We have publications on how to site and construct ponds. Get as much information as you can, and usually that's free. So where ponds can cost thousands of dollars to construct, you want the best information you have going forward to try to make sure they hold. Yeah,
a lot of preparation in the beginning. And what about terrain? I mean, slopes, is it better to dig in a flat area? Is there recommendations on that?
There's different types of ponds. Most of what we have are we call watershed ponds or hill ponds here, where basically you're just damming up a valley, making the dam of 6-inch compacted blankets of soil and flooding up a small draw or valley. So that's the vast majority of our ponds here in Kentucky. So what you'll need really to do is have somebody come in, survey the area, make sure there's enough watershed. It may take 3 to 5 acres of watershed per acre of pond just to fill the pond up. So you've got to have enough watershed to keep the pond filled. Overflow spillways, these sorts of things really need to be engineered, and the pond needs to be engineered properly. So one, that it holds water, and two, that it will be a good looking, you know, attribute to the property and not an eyesore. And we have some of those around. So.
And you mentioned different uses of ponds, and I would assume that it, depending on what type of use you're going to have, would depend on how you construct that pond, right?
Yeah, fish ponds, for recreational ponds, really 6 feet of water, 8 feet of water is about all you need to grow fish. Okay. Now, if you want an irrigation pond, you generally dig those about as deep as you can for the surface area involved, so you have a high volume of water to irrigate crops. Other side, duck ponds, crawfish ponds are dug very shallow to encourage vegetation growth, so they might only be 2 or 3 feet deep. So it really depends on what you're trying to do and how you're trying to manage it. Obviously, real shallow ponds, you need very flat land to construct something of any size that's only 2 or 3 feet deep. So those tend to be more levee-style ponds and not the watershed ponds that I mentioned.
And you know, some people think, well, I'm going to dig a pond, I'm going to have a pond. But you mentioned pond management, and there is, once you get it constructed, there's a lot of management that goes on after the fact.
Yeah, you want to try to stock the appropriate fish species, especially for sport fishing, recreational purposes.
And there's weed issues that we might have.
There's some aquatic plant control issues, depending on the pond. No two ponds are the same. That's another thing that's a little different. Yeah.
Makes your job interesting.
Well, you know, they're just, you know, because they are built just in a valley, there's no two landforms that are the same. So, I mean, there's some similarities, but they're not exactly the same. So, so there is, it's kind of like a garden or anything else. It can't just be built and ignored. It's something else to take care of for sure. And after you've invested in the amount of money it takes to build a pond, you're going to want to manage it.
Absolutely, properly. And we have information on helping people how to do that, right?
We do, just about all aspects of it.
All right. Well, Forrest, we certainly appreciate you visiting with us today. And if you have questions about siting a pond or pond construction, make sure to give your local extension office a call. And if we don't know, we'll call Forrest. So thanks for being here with us today, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.